Okay, our session is on recording, and I want to say welcome to tonight's session, where we are going to be discussing change request management, change request. So what is change request? Change request is any alteration in the original project plan. Any alteration is a change. Whether you want to change the timeline, you want to change the budget, you want to add more requirements, they are all change. And once you have a project charter, the project charter have addressed what needs to be done. Anything outside of the project charter, you need to discuss it with the stakeholders. You need to have a special way to manage it. That way, it's going to reduce the risk of project failure. But if you don't do that, definitely you are going to find yourself in what we call scope creep. So it's very, very important to know how to manage requests. One of the questions you are going to encounter during your interview as a project manager is, how do you manage a situation where a stakeholder wants to add more requirements into an existing project, an ongoing project? How do you handle it? And this is what is going to help you to solve that problem. If a stakeholder wants to add additional requirements in an ongoing project, we use change request management to handle it. How do we do it? There is what we call change control board. All you need to do is give the stakeholder a change request form. We'll have a change request form to capture the change they want to add or the requirements they want to add. Then you set up a change control board. In that change control board, you take the requirement to the change control board. It's not only you, it's a committee. There you are going to be a member as a project manager. You are going to be a member of that change control board. So within the board, you look at the risk, the impact of the change. If the stakeholders within the change control board is happy with the change or the new requirement, is going to be approved there. And then there will be adjustments in all the areas affected. Like if it's affecting the timeline, it's affecting the deliverables, it's affecting the budget, a supplementary budget needs to be carried out. Additional time needs to be added. So this way you handle all the changes coming to you as the project manager. Don't just say okay because he is the CEO. Yes, he's the CEO. You are not going to say no, but you have to capture it through the change request management process. Very easy. Well, if you don't know how to do it, it's going to be a very big problem. Because if now they give you, let's use £10,000. They give you £10,000 to implement ERP finance model. And while you are implementing ERP finance model with 10,000, which you are going to do very soon, for instance, we are implementing Dynamics 365 Business Central. It has different models. So if you are implementing finance model, along the line, one of the top directors came to you, say, no, we want you to capture CRM system inside that ERP as well. You are not going to say, okay, because the time to capture CRM is equally the time to capture. It's like they have doubled your job. If you say, okay, you are going to struggle. You cannot even meet up. You don't have enough. You are not going to have enough timeline. You are not going to have enough budget, because the more module, the more money. So in situations like this, you capture the change. They need new CRM within the ERP, in the business center. You capture it, set up a change control board, you review it in the change control board. If they approve it, then they make supplementary budget for you. And that's it, chicken. But how do we do it? And that is the problem. Who are going to be members of the change control board? And that is what we are going to look into in our notes. This topic you are seeing like this is going to be a lifesaver for you as a project manager. You are going to see it very soon. So once you start now, you see a lot of people will start to call it, they will be throwing a lot of things through the window. They are not going to come through the door. They'll be throwing throwing requirement through the window. There is illegal to throw something through the window. You can't capture requirement through the window. It has to come through the door. But if you capture so many requirements through the window, you are fucked up. Change request management involves the process and procedures used to manage any changes to a project scope, timeline, cost, or quality requirements. Effective change management helps ensure that changes are aligned with project goals, stakeholders are informed, and any potential risks are minimized. So, what are the key terms here? Change request, a formal proposal to modify a project document, deliverable, or baseline. That's change request. They are requesting. You have to give them change request from they are requesting for improvement, modification, alteration. Change control process, a structured approach to evaluate, approve, and implement the change. The change control process is going to be through the change control board. Importance of change request management. You see, I highlighted it here. Scope creep. Maintain project scope. Once you are capturing it through change request process or through change control process, you are going to maintain project scope. There's no way you can go out of your scope. If another thing is added and it has been discussed, then it's no longer an illegal requirement within the original requirement because it has been addressed. Ensure that changes does not lead to scope creep, which can delay the project and increase the cost. This is what you are fighting for as a project manager. This is why you are being employed, to make sure that there is no delay and there is no increase in cost. You see, the reason why we have abandoned project everywhere is that, you see, they don't even know the budget when they are starting. You want to, that is Nigerian style. You know, they are very fond of doing that. If you want to build a house, you call the building engineer, quantity surveyor, invite all of them. They will do their work and they give you a quote. Crescent, please put yourself on mute. So they will give you a quote. They tell you to build a duplex, just 50 million is enough. You just pack it into your house. That is the budget. A budget has been made that 50 million you pack into your duplex. And you go and budget 50 million and start work. You go half, you find out they tell you that the 50 million is just to do the foundation. You've not started. You spend 100 million, they tell you things are changing. And if you are not capable, you can just get exhausted and you see the building will hang. And it'll be like you don't know what you are doing. But the fake, I call it fake or quack project managers, quality surveyor, they deceived you. Because if they know how to manage project, they should have cost the project very well, know how much it's going to cost. Not when you go halfway, they start telling you stories. So it's important. That is why you see delay. It's important to avoid these projects scope creep. Understand the cost. If there is changes, then it has to be addressed. It has to be funded. It has to be catered for. Okay, importance. We are still on the importance of change requests. Enhances communication. Keep stakeholders informed about project adjustment and gain their approval for the change. You must gain approval from the influential stakeholders. Once you gain the approval, it means all the areas that need to be addressed will be addressed. Everything we're talking about mainly will boil down to budget and timeline. Mitigate risk, analyze and maintain the impact of the changes to minimize risk. Most of the impact is going to be delay. But if your timeline has been taken care of, most cases they will give you extension, meaning that we are not going to have any kind of delay because it has been readjusted. It's a new project and new project plan. Everything will be readjusted based on the new approval. Ensure quality. So instead of you capturing extra requirements without making additional budget or making additional provision for that, you just go for your change request and capture all the necessary provision. But if you don't do that, you are going to struggle. So you have to start economizing in order to maintain the resources you have. If you are supposed to be using a bag of cement for two headpans of sand, then in this case we are going to be using a bag of cement for 4 headpans or 5 headpans of sand. This case, in that regard, poor quality will set in. And before you know it, you see some of the buildings start collapsing and you become a bad project manager or bad engineer. So you don't do that. Go for change requests. Pass through change control process. Set your change control board. Get approval. Okay, types of changes. Changes in project can come in so many ways. It can come in scope. What do you mean by scope? Scope changes, modification to project deliverables and requirements. It can come in timeline, schedule changes, adjustment to project timeline or deadlines. It can come in budget, that is budget changes, revision in the budget financial requirement or budgets, project financial requirement or budgets, quality changes, adjustment to quality standard or testing requirement, resource changes, modification in resource allocation or personal involvement. It can come in this way. At times, you see like resources, the workers can just say that we want an increase, and they start, making noise, pushing for it, revolting. Or what do? You go for change requests for adjustment to increase the salary of the workers or the people working for you. So it can come in any of these ways. If you decide to embark on any of these changes, you must go for change request process. Change request management process. How do you manage this process? How? Number one is to identify the need for change. Recognize triggers for changes, such as new client requirements, unforeseen issues, or technical advancement. Document the change request. You must capture the detail the proposed change, including the reason for change, the impact, outline the potential impact on the scope, timeline, cost, quality, and resource. Supporting document, attach any necessary file or evidence to support the change, and submit the change request. Submit the change request, the document, to the project manager or change control board for review. Is change control board. Project manager is always part of the change control board. Assess the change request. The change control board or designated reviewers assess the change request, focusing on the feasibility, benefit, cost, risk, alignment with project goals. Then decision making. Approved. The change request can be approved. If the changes deemed necessary and beneficial, it can be approved and move forward. Reject. The change is not aligned with the project objective or feasible. You can reject it. And then you stick to your original plan and you reject the change. Or defer. The change may be reviewed, for later, or they can ask for more information, depending on what it can be deferred. So the outcome of the change request can be approved, reject, or defer. Defer means it can be reconsidered later. Then, once that is done, implement the approved change. Update project document. All the project documents must be updated to capture the timeline, the tasks according, everything that is pertaining the changes made must be updated within the relevant document. Communicate with relevant stakeholders and allocate resources. Monitor and track the change implementation. Track the progress of the change implementation and document any issues. Evaluate the impact of the changes and ensure it aligns with the project's goal. So if you follow these 7 steps, which are listed here, you are going to be a top-notch in project management, a cracker, become a project management sniper. Nothing, because this is where the most challenges are going to come from. I've been in so many projects, and this is the way they'll just be coming. If you are naive, if you are first time of managing a project and you are not trained very well, maybe during your boot camp or during your studies in the university, you were never taught about change requests and how to manage change requests. You will just say, this is a big man. I need to please this man in order to stay in this job. You capture it, and you say, sir, by capturing your death warrant and say, sir. Well, when the yawa go gas, the person that brought the change will say, I don't know you. The person will reject you. It's important. Don't just capture changes. If a budget has been made to do something, don't use it for another thing. It's going to be more deadly if you are working in public sectors, because they are going to term it misappropriation of fund. You use the fund meant for something for another thing. And you see your enemies will be multiplying. Everybody will be happy. You are going. So, don't try to understand this is extremely important. Extremely. Okay. Let's move on. Let's look at change control board. They are the people that approves, rejects, or define the change request. The change control board is a group of stakeholders, including the project manager, key sponsors, and technical lead responsible for reviewing, approving, or rejecting change requests. The change control board ensures that only beneficial and necessary changes are implemented, keeping the project aligned with its original goal. Responsibility of the change control board: evaluating change requests, approving or rejecting changes, ensuring changes align with the strategic objective, minimizing project disruption due to changes. Changes is not good if it's not captured very well. It's capable of disrupting a project. Tools for change management, we have change log. You must keep a change log, a document tracking all the changes requested, approved, or rejected, including description, impact, and status. You must have a document capturing all that. We equally have read log. Read log serves in so many purposes: risk, action, issue, and decision. A tool for to document and track risk, action, issues, and key decisions related to changes. Example of a change request for food tracker. Example here, in food tracker expanding a food and grocery delivery from River States to other states of Nigeria. The project team might encounter requests to add new delivery zones, adjust timelines, or allocate additional resources due to the regional differences. A structured change management process will help assess and manage these requests effectively. Now, the original request might be, the original project might be, okay, we want to expand to 3 states in Nigeria. While the project is going on, no, we don't want 3 states now. We want to expand to 7 states. How do you do that? You can't use the finance to expand to 3 states, to expand to 7 states. You can't do the magic. So that is what is happening here. So what they need to do as a smart project manager, you issue out a change request form to capture it. And the change request form will look like this. Change request ID. So if it's the first change you are capturing in the project, is going to be CR01, number 1. If it's the second change, it's going to be CR02. Then requester, who is requesting for this change. In this case, local operations manager, date of request, type of change. We discuss type of change. We talk about scope. We talk about budget and the rest. So in this case, this is a scope. Description: add new delivery zone in Lagos and Oyo State. Reasons: increased demand from vendors and customers in those regions. Impact on the scope: expand scope to include new delivery zone in Oyo and in Lagos and Oyo. And the impact, time impact, the scope impact is this, and the time impact is this, is going to cost additional 7 days in order to capture and address this change. And then impact on the budget, additional 5 million to carry out this expansion. Impact on quality: enhances service availability and delivery efficiency. So in all those areas, we're having customers more demand. We are going to be able to have available services. In this case, you see, is the impact is very positive. So they quickly approve the decision. See here, approved. Approver, project manager, and the change control board. And the date of approval is this. So you see, it's very brief document, but it covers a lot. It is going to save you from a lot of headache. So, and the best practice when this is happening, involve stakeholders, regularly communicate with stakeholders to get their inputs and approval on changes. Don't do it alone. You must follow the due process, which is through change control board. Document everything. Keep a detailed record of all changes and their impacts. It's very, very necessary. Use a standard process. Consistency help ensures that changes are evaluated fairly. You must have a template used to capture your changes. This, for you, is now your template. So if I am you, once I'm getting this note, I'm going to cut out this template and give it a name. Change management or change request, not change request. You see, change request form template. Template. Here, add template here. If I'm you, because this is a big template for you. So this is a template. Cut it out. We are creating your project management library. That's going to help you as the project manager. So I'm not going to come to your house or to do everything for you. Yeah, that's best practice. Prioritize changes. If you have 2 changes, you have to prioritize which one is more important. Focus on changes that deliver most value and align with project objective. If you are working, changes will be coming here and there. It's not only one stakeholder is going to come for changes, for additional input. A lot of stakeholders are going to come. So just keep evaluating, keep which one, if you get double approval, then you decide which one carries more weight and implement the one that carries more weight first. It's important to do that. So because the main purpose is continuous adding of value. Monitor and review, continuously monitor the impact of changes and adjust as needed. Challenges in change management, key challenges, scope creep. Gradual, uncontrolled changes can expand the project scope, leading to delay and cost overrun. If you are not using change control to manage changes, this is where you are going to land yourself. Scope creep. Another question, you might tweak it this way. How do you manage scope creep in an interview? How do you manage scope creep? Another one is, these are common questions. How do you manage difficult stakeholders? Okay, if you are following this, change control process is going to help you to address all this, because difficult stakeholders will always be there telling you to do this, do that. They always want to add, even if you are telling them that we don't have enough, they don't want to hear. In a situation they are persisting, do you know who I am? I've been in this company, you need to listen to me. I've been one of the pioneers of this company. Who are you? You got employed yesterday to come and tell me what to do. They are going to come. Once they come like that, ranting, you know me, you don't know my name, this and that, you say, sir, yes, sir. I'm very sorry, sir. Just sir, but sir, quietly hand change request form to him or her to fill for you and submit back. That is how to capture change. Once they do that, quietly take it to change control board for review. If they approve it, good and fine, you implement it. If they refuse to approve it, tell them it's not you that disapprove it, it's the board. Go and meet the board. Simple. You solve that headache of that difficult stakeholder that is giving you sleepless nights. You push it to the change control board. Let him go and talk to the change control board. You are not the only. Don't try to become the change control board, because you are going to mess yourself up. You are going to become the decision maker, and everybody will want you to approve that. So push it to the right people that you will, that quietly you have transferred that headache to another group of stakeholders. So you shielded yourself from that. So before some of you will go and start crying, I know that man never liked me because, I don't know what I did to that man. You don't need to know what you did to the man. All you need to do is to do the right thing. Handle the man. You pocket all these difficult stakeholders. This is how, as a trained project manager, you pocket them and quietly. They say that's that small boy. He doesn't talk, but he pockets everybody. He doesn't talk too much. You don't know where to handle him. He's very slippery. You are not just slippery. You are just doing your work because you are trained very well. Okay, take away. Projects change management is crucial for maintaining control over project scope, time, budget, and quality. A structured process like the project request process ensures that changes are evaluated, approved, and implemented effectively. Involving stakeholders, documenting changes, and prioritizing value-driven adjustment are vital to successful change management. Like I said, involving stakeholders. Don't try to become the change board yourself. You know, don't try to be final boss stop in that project. Have a change control board that is involving stakeholders. I don't finish you. The day is going to happen. Don't say I didn't tell you. You know. So if you have anything to say, you start saying it now. All right. Okay. Guys, have another class coming up by 8:30. So thank you for listening, and I'll be going down to make a cup of tea for myself. I will see you next week. And next week, I'll be coming with a CV, a CV template. There are so many jobs, you know, project support jobs, small project jobs. They full everywhere in Upwork now, everywhere. I want you to go and make some more money for Christmas, you know. But once you start making money, remember to send me something. So that's it. And we are going to start our listing, our AI prompt engineering course by end of this month. You better start saving. That's another. If it's very hot, it's hotting very well in Upwork. Today I went there to, you see everywhere is red with prompt engineers. Everywhere prompt engineers. So if anybody is telling you there is no, say things hard, let me tell you, things hard for people who don't know what in be. If you didn't here and know what you they do, or more, you are already a millionaire. I don't talk saying I mean talk if you know what you they do here, so you don't just come here to the Jones. Because some of us are coming here to the Jones. If you are not coming here to the Jones, or more, by Christmas, and we are not thinking of buying a car, or more. No, me and you know they just work full ground for Upwork. So thank you everyone, and see you next week.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Charles.
Thank
God
you.
bless.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Thank you,
Yeah.
sir.
Right.
See you next
Take
week.
care, Mr. Take care, Mr.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
You can call
you.
me
Good
Mr.
night.
ID if you like. If you want to call me Mr. ChantUp or anyone.